Hey there, this is Gaurav, and as you can see, I'm very excited about a new plugin called Vinylistik. I just love Boom Bap Drums. And you know, I'll be honest with you, I just have been looking for these samples all over with sample packs and all of that, but I've never found like the really authentic samples. It's just been, you know, something which is close or similar, or whatever, but never the real sound. So I'm, you know, obviously deciding to go on my own quest and try to bring amazing samples and also a workflow, you know, which works with Boom Bap. So like you've seen with Beatskillz, our motto is really to bring you really good sounds, a very comprehensive collection of really what works and sounds good. No garbage fill-ups, right? And then also we want to focus on workflow. So I wanted to build a drum machine which has everything already kind of mapped out for you. So if you're using a controller, say like the MPK Mini, we've already mapped like the pads and you know, the knobs to it. But of course, they are totally assignable with Vinylistik. You can just right-click on any control and just touch once on any controller you have, and boom, it's set. All the presets, everything will work once you've set it up. You set and forget. So it's totally flexible. But the whole idea is to get into that boom bap feeling right away, you know, not having to find samples. So we've already taken the right kind of samples and also recorded live drums and all that, mixed that all together, used various analog processing and also our favorite Samplex processing to give you some really crispy, hard-hitting and authentic sounds. So these are 40 kits basically of 8 sounds each, actually 47 kits and 40 patterns built right into Vinylistik. So you can just go and just browse through various presets and patterns really quickly and find what you like. Of course, we've given you the option to replace, you know, the kick snares, any sample pad. So you can drag your own sample from any folder right onto the pad, or you can use our built-in browser and actually select from any folder that you have and then just load the sample directly. You can mix and match between our own kick snares and all of those samples also. It's totally up to you. But I wanted to give you something straight out of the box where you know the kick works with the snare and all the percussion and everything that's included right with every kit just works together. So a lot of pain, love, excitement, passion has gone into creating this plugin, which is really meant for that old school vibe. Of course, we also provide some very superb stuff with this plugin, which is the EQ compressor and the reverb, which is totally designed for that kind of boom bap. Once you heard that cracking snare, you were like, how do I get that? So we've got that for you. It's right here. So if you really want to squeeze the drum kit and make it punchy, just use the compressor knob. If you want to, you know, bring up the bass, just use the low EQ knob. Bring up the high EQ knob if you want the hats to be crispy. You want to dip the mids, do that. You want to add the mids. It's totally up to you what you want to do. But these are simple controls, so you don't get lost in a plethora of options. The main thing, of course, with us is not to give you so many options, but yet give you great sounding things. Things which inspire. My whole game with Beatskillz is connection. So it's not really about X number of features. It's about taking care of all of that inside the engine so that whenever you hit a pad, whenever you hit a knob, whenever you hit a control, it's always musical. It's always going to give you something that's pleasing right out of the box. So you don't get lost in all of this endless, you know, kind of tweaking. Of course, if you want, you can separate all of the sounds or pads out onto multiple outputs. That's all built in. We've got a reverse function and of course a regular sample trim and all of that. Now, one of the other key things that I did with these is that I added some kind of a space or let the attack of the kick and the snare come in. So they're not trimmed right onto the transient. They've got some space. Now, why did I do that? If you've seen the old techniques of all these amazing producers from the 90s and 2000s who were using, you know, these samplers like the MPC60, SP1200, when they were sampling, they sometimes left some gap before the snare started. So there's a kind of swag and a lag besides the swing, which just gives you that kind of authentic vibe, which is so raw and crunchy and of course has this kind of human feel to it almost. So that's the whole idea with this plugin. Now, in the sequencer, if you see, we've also given you a swing per step, which is very rare. You might not find this in every kind of sequencer. So if you use a swing per step, you can really push some samples ahead and some behind, creating another kind of swing or lag, or that kind of a, you know, really machine-like groove or machine-like quantization, which was there in these older machines. So it's all built in. You can, of course, sequence various parameters like, you know, the reverb, the pan, the volume, the note length, and the pitch, of course. So it's really, really cool. Some of the patterns we've set with this are going to really, really excite you. You're going to love it. So I just wanted to check it out. This is a plugin talk from G. If you want to check out some of the sounds and the patterns, you just go to our promo video and check that out. It's all in there. And I hope you enjoy this plugin as much as we had making it and delivering it to you. So that's all, just a really quick message from me, Gaurav, and I'll see you in another video.